Imagine being told you're not welcome at a family funeral, not by a distant cousin you rarely see, but by the family that defined your entire identity for decades. That's the explosive reality surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who, according to insiders, were bluntly told by Buckingham Palace to stay away from the funeral of Katherine, the Duchess of Kent. The ban is making waves across the royal world, and it raises questions no one can ignore. Why would the palace take such a drastic step? What does it mean for Harry and Meghan's already fractured relationship with the monarchy? Let's unravel this royal drama. A funeral without the Sussexes. But before we continue, please subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell for more updates. The passing of Katherine, the Duchess of Kent, was bound to be a deeply emotional affair. Known for her grace, humility, and devotion to music education, Katherine was admired not just by royal watchers, but also by the general public. One would expect every member of the family to pay their respects. Yet, when the palace allegedly barred Harry and Meghan from attending, the shockwaves were immediate. It wasn't just a scheduling issue or a matter of logistics. This was a decision rooted in tension, symbolism, and perhaps even a warning shot to the couple. Can you imagine the optics? A royal funeral without the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, two of the most talked about royals in the world. That absence alone became the headline. But what's the real story behind the ban? The palace's point of no return. For years, Buckingham Palace has tried to balance tradition with modernity, secrecy with transparency, and loyalty with family drama. With Harry and Meghan, the balance has often tipped toward chaos. From Oprah's bombshell interview to Harry's memoir spilling royal secrets, every step seemed to fray the family's fragile ties further. This ban feels like a line drawn in the sand. A funeral is one of the most sacred occasions in the royal calendar, a time for unity, not spectacle. Palace officials, insiders say, worried that Harry and Meghan's presence would overshadow the solemn event. Instead of headlines about Katherine's life and legacy, the press might zero in on who sat where, who spoke to whom, and whether Meghan dared wear black Dior again. Still, was this decision about protecting Katherine's memory, or punishing Harry and Meghan? Harry's heartbreak and Meghan's dilemma. For Prince Harry, this isn't just about duty. It's about identity. Funerals often force us to confront our roots, our family ties, and our regrets. To be told you're not wanted here is a wound deeper than most realize. Insiders whisper that Harry was devastated, torn between anger and sorrow. Imagine standing at a distance while your family gathers to mourn, the doors closed in your face. And what about Meghan? Some argue she might secretly welcome the ban, avoiding the cold stares, frosty silences, and endless tabloid analysis of her every move. Yet, the very idea of being excluded only reinforces the narrative that she's an outsider, no longer one of them. Could this latest snub be the final push that convinces Harry and Meghan to sever ties completely? Or is there still a sliver of hope for reconciliation? Public reaction. Sympathy or scandal? Public opinion, as always, is divided. Some sympathize with Harry and Meghan, arguing that no family should exclude its members from mourning. After all, funerals are about healing, not politics. Others, however, believe the palace was right. They wanted independence, critics say. Now they have it, stay away. This tug-of-war reflects a larger cultural debate. How much loyalty do we owe to family traditions when those traditions no longer serve us? And when does protecting one's peace outweigh the pain of exclusion? The Sussexes' situation may be royal, but it mirrors dilemmas that countless families face in quieter ways. Lessons we can take away. While few of us will ever experience the drama of being banned from a royal funeral, many know the sting of family rejection or estrangement. The Sussex saga reminds us of a few universal truths. Boundaries are double-edged swords. Just as Harry and Meghan set boundaries by stepping away from the monarchy, the palace has now set its own by excluding them. Narratives matter. Who tells your story often defines how the world sees you. For Harry and Meghan, every absence speaks as loudly as their presence. Healing takes courage. Avoidance may keep the peace for now, but real reconciliation, whether in royal families or ordinary ones, demands uncomfortable conversations. So, what would you do if you were in Harry's shoes? Would you fight for your place at the table or walk away for good? The bigger picture. Ultimately, the palace's ban isn't just about a funeral. It's about power, perception, and the future of the monarchy itself. Every move in this high-stakes family chess game is scrutinized, dissected, and immortalized in the headlines. Harry and Meghan's absence from Catherine's farewell will echo far beyond the chapel walls. It's a symbol of a family fracture that may never fully heal. And here's the kicker. Royal watchers are already asking, if Harry and Meghan are banned from funerals, what about future weddings? Coronations? State events? This could be the start of a new royal era where the Sussexes are permanently sidelined. Final thoughts. At its heart, this isn't just a royal story, it's a human one. A family divided. A son caught between love and loyalty. A couple navigating the harsh glare of the public eye. And a palace determined to protect its image at all costs. The question now is whether this ban marks the end of Harry and Meghan's royal chapter, or just another dramatic twist in a saga that continues to captivate the world. What do you think? Should Harry and Meghan have been allowed to attend Catherine's funeral, or was the palace right to keep the focus on her life and legacy? Share your thoughts, join the conversation, and let's unpack this together. After all, behind the crowns and castles, it's the human stories that connect us all. Imagine being told you're not welcome at a family funeral, not by a distant cousin you rarely see, but by the very institution that shaped your entire life. That's the dramatic reality Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are facing after Buckingham Palace allegedly told them to stay away from the funeral of Katherine, the Duchess of Kent. For a couple already defined by tension with the monarchy, this latest blow is both shocking and telling. But why such a drastic measure, and what does it reveal about the royals' future? Why the palace drew the line? Let's face it, the royals thrive on optics. Every handshake, every black coat, every hymn sung is calculated for meaning. With Harry and Meghan, those optics have become unpredictable. After the Oprah interview, Harry's tell-all memoir, and constant Netflix specials, the palace has grown wary of what their presence might overshadow. Instead of headlines about Catherine's legacy, the world's attention would likely pivot to the Sussexes' body language, eye contact or lack thereof, and who avoided sitting near them. By barring them, the palace may feel it's safeguarding dignity. But at what cost? Is this truly about protecting Catherine's memory, or silencing the couple once and for all? Harry's private struggle. Imagine losing a family member and being told you can't even stand with your relatives to say goodbye. For Harry, this isn't just a scheduling slight. It's a heartache that cuts deep. Funerals force us to confront who we are and where we belong. Being excluded from one says, you no longer belong here. Reports suggest Harry is torn. Furious at the rejection yet heartbroken that family ties have thinned to this point. Meghan, on the other hand, might secretly feel relieved to avoid the cold stares and whispers. But being excluded confirms the outsider narrative she's fought against since marrying into the family. What the public thinks. Reactions are, unsurprisingly, split. Some say the palace is cruel for denying Harry and Meghan their right to mourn. A family funeral should never be political, argue sympathizers. Others applaud the royals' decision, claiming Harry and Meghan made their choice when they left for California. They wanted freedom, critics scoff. Now they have it. Don't come running back. This divide mirrors a universal question. How do you balance loyalty to tradition with the need for personal freedom? It's a dilemma families around the world face, even without crowns and castles. What we can learn from this drama. Behind the pomp and pageantry, there are lessons we can all relate to. Boundaries matter. Harry and Meghan chose to set boundaries with the monarchy. Now, the palace is setting its own in return. Boundaries protect, but they also exclude. Control the narrative or it controls you. The Sussexes have told their story, and now the palace is telling theirs, through absence rather than presence. Healing requires humility. Walking away might feel safer, but genuine reconciliation demands vulnerability and uncomfortable truths. So what would you do? Would you fight to be there, or walk away knowing the invitation was never coming? the future of royal family dynamics. The palace's decision has broader implications. If Harry and Meghan are excluded from funerals, what about future weddings, coronations, or anniversaries? Are they permanently cut out from the story of the monarchy? The Duchess of Kent's farewell could mark more than the end of one life. It could symbolize the monarchy's final goodbye to Harry and Meghan as functioning members of the firm, and that might change the course of royal history forever. Final thoughts. This isn't just about titles, crowns, or castles. It's about family, identity, and the messy tangle of love and loyalty. Harry and Meghan's ban from Katherine's funeral isn't just a headline. It's a human story of estrangement, hurt, and the longing to belong. The question is this the monarchy protecting its dignity, or pushing away reconciliation that may never return? Now I want to hear from you. Should Harry and Meghan have been allowed to attend the funeral and pay their respects? Or was Buckingham Palace right to keep the focus on Katherine's legacy without the shadow of Sussex drama? Share your thoughts below, because sometimes the stories of royalty shine a light on the choices we all face in our own families.